Hey, what's going on, guys? So my name is Ipe. I've been making money on the internet since 2014, and today I'm going to react to Richard Yu's video, "The Best Online Business to Start as a Beginner 2023." And in this video, he explains sort of his journey of how he created different agencies to start making money on the internet. And then it goes into sort of introducing being a remote setter as one of the best ways to make money on the internet. And basically what remote setter is you learned to book appointments for other online programs and coaches that are selling a digital product. So as I watch this video, I'm going to give my 2 cents as to what I think about this remote setter business opportunity.
Business, we are going through the greatest online revolution that this world has ever seen. We're becoming a doctor and spending $100,000 on a university degree. It just doesn't matter anymore. Running an e-commerce business right now, which I think has potential to grow, but then I also have this remote setting opportunity. Which one do you take? Because I really prefer being an entrepreneur. And he laughed at me and he said, "Richard, you're 20 years old. You want to be an entrepreneur and work for yourself because you're seeing all these influencers online posting photos of the Lambo and private jets and saying, oh, be your own boss. What you need to do when you're first getting started as a beginner is gain skills, because the reality is you're not an entrepreneur. You're a watchpreneur, a wannabe entrepreneur, and you need to partner up with a business owner, learn skills, be mentored, and get paid to learn instead of losing money and figuring it all yourself." And as I'm telling you this now, having made $15 million since that opportunity started, do you actually want to be an entrepreneur, or do you want to experience the things that being an entrepreneur can give you? Because if I'm honest, if I could make $5,000 or $10,000 a month and not have the stress of 10 plus employees, the stress of having all these clients, and all the fires that come with building a business, I would take that in a heartbeat. Because at the end of the day, I just want to be able to make my $5,000 a month so I can travel the world, I can take care of my family, and I can work from anywhere in the world, because that's what most people want. And so if you're watching this and you're a complete beginner, let me tell you, all those things that you want can be achieved working as an
Yeah, the only problem with being a setter though is it's really difficult to consistently make like over 10K a month. And because a setter is, you're only setting an appointment for a coaching program, and industry standard is you only make about 5% commission, sometimes like 4%. So on average, a setter makes around 4K, 5K a month, and it's it's still not bad, but it's still kind of hard to live a great lifestyle at 4K, 5K a month. And on top of that, it's not scalable, meaning as a setter, you have to work each and every month to make that amount of money. And so I see what he's saying, that as somebody just trying to get into business, you are lacking a lot of different skills. And so people invest a bunch of money into business, but they don't have any skills, so they struggle, right? And the most important skills in business are marketing skills and sales skills. So I see what he's saying there. To learn sales skills, you can be a setter and work for another company and get paid while you learn the skill of sales. But there's also what I've done, which is simply join a coaching program or find a business model like local lead generation, which has a lot of leverage, a lot of advantages. And with the local lead generation business model, I learned the skill of marketing and sales at the same time. And marketing is just as powerful as sales when it comes to making money on the internet, especially my favorite marketing skill, which is your ability to rank websites in Google, which if you can rank websites in Google, you have basically a lot of power in terms of generating attention on the internet and being able to monetize that attention.
entrepreneur, which is an entrepreneur within the business, as opposed to just being an entrepreneur and taking on all the risk of building a business and losing a lot of money if it doesn't work out. And if you have even bigger ambitions because one day you want to build a business, well, that was exactly me. I want to build a business. And so even though I knew I could make over $8,000 in this opportunity, I wanted to grow. So I actually asked my boss if I could take on the next skill set, which is actually taking the phone call rather than booking phone calls, because I knew that my commission could go from 4% to actually 10% commissions. And I did that, and my income went up to over $10,000 a month. And about a year later, I actually grew to become an executive within the company where I helped them run the day-to-day operations, and I actually gained a percentage of the company as an executive and true partner. Now, working with my boss for over a year, I actually realized I could help other businesses grow as well, especially with this remote setter opportunity by helping them learn how to place a setter in their business to help them grow their business as well. And as I was working with all these clients, I realized the biggest problem that all these clients had is that they all missed phone calls and they needed more of them. And there wasn't ever enough manpower to actually spend time messaging their followers to book those calls. So to solve that problem, I actually ended up founding the Setter Certification Program, an online school that teaches, certifies, and trains remote setters on how to become really good at messaging, and then I help place these individuals inside of seven-figure businesses that desperately need more phone calls. The biggest problem that all these online education businesses have is they do not have enough booked phone calls. And the third is that remote setting is the most high-demand, recession-proof skill that businesses desperately need in order for them to stay afloat, and there's nothing, I absolutely mean nothing in their industry right now that is more certainly going to get you to $5,000 a month in.
So here's one thing I'll say. As a remote setter, you're still only limited to working for online companies that have information products. I get messages in my DMs all the time of setters wanting to work for our local lead generation coaching program. And I have to turn them down because it's like any company only needs like 1 to 2 setters. So it's, you know, as these programs teach all these other people how to be setters, it's still going to be difficult for you to get a job. And at the end of the day, it is still a job, right? A company can easily still let you go or fire you if you're not performing. Once you learn our local lead generation skill sets, unlike a setter, you don't have to rely on other companies and work for other companies. You can begin to work for yourself. So that's the biggest thing I wanted to kind of let everybody know is that, you know, yes, in business, you need skills, and the most important skills are marketing skills and then sales skills, right? But if you have marketing skills, you can literally create your own product and make your own business. So the fact that he's saying that you should be a setter because, you know, as a beginner, you don't have enough skills, I would say to me, that's not the true solution to the problem. The true solution is going to be then, what kind of skills do I need to learn so I can be in business for myself, so I don't have to work for another company. I don't have to rely on another company for my livelihood.
More in the next 30 to 60 days. And so now that you understand the fastest way to get to $37,000 a month, 100% remotely is remote setting, you might be wondering, well, how do I implement this and become a setter? Which is why I want to teach you the 3 steps to becoming a remote setter, hitting $3,000 to $7,000 a month in commission checks and working from anywhere in the world. Now, the first step is what I call opportunity selection. Now, you need to understand that not all opportunities are created equally. There's a lot of complicated factors that result in the success.
With local lead generation, you know, just to give you an example, with setter, you have to spend time each and every month to make the same amount, $3,000 to $7,000 a month. With local lead gen, I spent one of my tree care sites in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I spent maybe 15 hours on that site to build it and rank it, and that site has been making me $2,000 every month since 2015. So local lead gen is just so much more leverage, so much more ability to hit much higher income, and because you're leveraging digital assets, and it gives you the ability to create leveraged income, aka passive income. With setter, you don't have the ability to create passive income, so that's again a huge difference there.
Of a business, right? That's why, again, I don't recommend beginners start a business. Because when you have a business, you have to first understand traffic, which is, are there enough leads and opportunities?
We have 7,000 students in our coaching program, and they were all beginners when they joined our program. To say that beginners shouldn't start a business is misleading, in my opinion. A beginner can start a business. It just depends on what business you get into. But a beginner has to be trained properly.
For the setters, meaning, is this person running ads? Are they growing their social media following so there's quality leads? Then we have to take a look at the content of the business. Are they posting quality content on the profiles that engage with the audience and nurture the audience so they want to buy the product? Then from the setter standpoint, they have to actually look, does the setter actually have a good leadership structure so they can actually train the setters on how to be successful at booking calls? Then for the closers, we have to see, once the call is actually booked, do they have good closers or salespeople who can close at 33% on the phone and actually booking calls? Then we start wondering, is the offer sellable? Is it a high ticket price point of at least $3,000 to $5,000? Because a lot of coaches, they struggle charging a high price point. And then when someone actually buys the product, we have to look at the transformation. Is the business actually able to fulfill and give the client a really good result, which now results in more testimonials, which means they can get referrals, which helps the business grow, as well as help the marketing by creating a good reputation and word of mouth.
Okay, my question is, these kind of businesses that have such high close rate, great testimonials, which, that's example, like our local lead generation coaching program, we have, really good testimonials and really good salespeople. But these kind of programs they're not all over the place, right? So as you begin to train all these setters, I'm just curious to understand, how is it possible that all these setters can get these positions? Like, my thing is, yeah, you can go through Richard's training and learn the skill of setter, but how are you going to get these jobs when you're competing with, hundreds of other people that you train to be a setter also? Like, there's not that many of these programs out there on the internet, is my point. And so there's no way that all these setters can find a job.
Well, I actually prefer that you don't have any sales experience, because that means you don't have any bad habits. And really, there's two parts in the sales process. You have to understand there's setting the call, and then there's closing the call. And you are really just building the relationship with the prospect by typing messages, not showing your face and selling, and you're building curiosity so that they want to book the call.
Yeah, as a setter, it's just a lot of messaging, a bunch of leads. Again, it's a grind. There's a lot of repetitive work of messaging people, reaching, cold calling people, and trying to get people to book an appointment with your closer. You definitely don't look at a setter position as a long-term way to earn a living. Like, you will get burnt out because it's so repetitive. And you're only making 4% commission, while a closer makes around 15%, sometimes even up to 20%. So, but being a closer is a more of a higher level skill, right? You actually have to persuade, get on the call or a Zoom call with somebody and get people to buy. A setter, you're just engaging their interest, seeing if they have finances to invest in a program, and you're just literally getting them on a calendar and handing them off to a closer. It's much, much easier, but you also make way less money.
Asking questions is because for this $9,800 product, it is a business consulting product for my company, in which we coach business owners on how they can scale their business with.
I think these setter programs really target people that have no business experience. And, when you have no business experience, you don't have much confidence in starting your own business. So something like a setter where you make $3,000 to $5,000 a month, that sounds kind of something like you can do. Then they go, hey, this is much easier. You don't have to be in a high pressure salesman. You just book appointments. You just get people on the calendar, and it's so much easier. And it gets a lot of people in that are newbies to be interested because it promises that it's easier. But even if you go through a setter program and learn the skill sets, it's still going to be difficult for you to get a job, because all these programs that have such good marketing, a lot of these programs already have a setter. Again, this is why don't always fall for this messaging that if you're a beginner, you don't have no business starting your own business. You just need the right training. And our local lead generation program, we teach you how to create your own free traffic digital assets that you can go sell on your own, which is now your own product. You can sell it to local businesses all across the world and make your own passive income, which to me, as a beginner, is a way better business model to tackle, skills to master, than just being a setter working for another company.
Marketing strategies. If you're familiar with who Tony Robbins is, who is worth over $600 million, he has this famous line that goes, if you want to be successful, find someone who's achieved the results you want and copy what they do, and you will achieve the same results. And let me tell you, the smartest decision that I ever made was finding my mentor Vince, because he had a thriving 7-figure business and I had no skills. In fact, I had failed all these businesses. And I knew that no matter what, I would have the mentorship and safety net of not having to worry about the stress of running a business. And because of his mentorship, at first I was only booking 2 to 3 calls a day, which is why I made $3,000 to $4,000 a month. The best case situation is we can 100% help you. We give you a custom game plan, and we give you an invitation to join the setter certification program. In the next 1 to 2 months, your life has changed forever. The only risk that you do have is taking all the information you learned here today, trying to do it and figure it out yourself, and get stuck in this vicious cycle of having no guidance or mentorship. And then go for the next 2 years, jumping from one opportunity to another, trying to make it as a remote setter with no real guidance, but following the same vicious cycle that you've been in and what I was stuck in for years.
What I want to also point out is, like, take a look at what people are doing instead of what people are saying. Like, Richard Yu did not become wildly successful and wealthy by being a setter. He first started off working for another company, but he quickly became a closer for that company. And then that company, there are some luck involved. And then he became head of operations for that company. He learned a bunch of skills there of becoming a head of operation. And he discovered that he could install and help install setters in other companies, and he started doing that as a service. And he started servicing, coaching programs and other businesses that were selling digital products, and he was installing setters into those companies. So he's solving a much bigger problem through his journey of installing setters into a multi-7-figure businesses, and that's how he became a lot more successful than the average person, right? So in business, you have to solve big problems if you want to make good money, and a setter, in my opinion, you're not solving a big problem. A lot of these businesses, they can find setters anywhere because a setter really isn't that high level of a skill set. Unfortunately, a lot of these companies can even hire setters from overseas, from the Philippines, and hire them for much cheaper oftentimes, because a setter, all they do is literally all day long just send, text messages to people, which can be, outsourced to the Philippines, or even I know some companies that use AI to do it. So ultimately, I just don't see a wildly fruitful future for a setter, and that's just the cold hard facts, in my opinion. And so you have to think very carefully of why you want to be a setter. There's better opportunities, and my recommendation, again, like I've mentioned in this video, is local lead generation, because unlike being a setter where you only make 4%, with local lead generation, once you build and rank your own websites, you can make 95% profit margin. So any one of my lead gen clients pay me anywhere from $750 a month to $2,000 a month, and that's 95% profit margins. Once you build and rank the website, my clients are paying me month after month, and I don't hardly ever have to touch the site anymore. So it's way more lucrative than being a setter. And yeah, if you're interested, I have a link in the description where you can find out more information about local lead gen and our coaching program. Again, a setter, it's still a decent side hustle, but I look at it nothing more than a side hustle. I think it's a little bit disingenuous to say a skill like a setter where you're only making 4% and trading your time for dollars is going to lead you to dramatically improving your quality of life. To dramatically improve your quality of life, you need to find skills that allows you to create leveraged income, or skills that allows you to create income, but it compounds over time. And a setter position, unfortunately, does not do that. It does not compound over time. You're still going to have to grind each and every month to make 3 to 7K a month. Whereas with local lead gen, the more you build these digital assets, income is going to continue to go up and up and up. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.